Hey there, I'm Greg Finn,
And I'm Christine Zernheld,
aka Shep,
and it is officially Marketing O'Clock.
here on September 27th, 2019. Remember, you can catch our famous Friday news shows each and every Friday morning,
We read all the news.
so you don't have to.
And if you want to follow along with us, just check out our show notes. Head over to marketingoclock.com for all the links from today's article.
And please subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Shep, what's first in the news this week?
So first in the news this week, Pinterest announced new Shop the Look collection ads that let brands promote multiple items in one ad. Just like organic Shop the Look pins, and advertisers can tag up to 25 items in an image, and shoppers will see a preview showcase of up to 4 items and can click through to see more.
I think this might be the best name for an ad unit ever.
Shop
out
the
there.
Look?
Shop the Look. Who's
Yeah.
not going to want, if you come to a client and pitch them and say, we're going to do some Shop the Look pins, who's going to say no?
It kind of puts it in a box, though. Like, you could use this for things other than fashion.
That's true. But it's still a good name.
Yeah.
Name a better name.
I wish
Beat
it was LEWK.
What is it? Outstream ads? Does that beat it?
No, that's
Okay.
super boring.
Native? Like beat a better ad name.
I would just spell it LEWK. Shop the Look.
Oh, okay.
A little more fun.
You just beat it right there.
So when you click on one of these ads, you can continue onto the brand's website to make a purchase. And in addition to this, Pinterest also announced new features that will allow advertisers to customize their profile page, including a new shop tab, which sounds cool as well. And users can browse products directly from Pinterest and purchase them on the brand's website.
Did you look at the ad that they showed? They had an animated GIF over on the Pinterest newsroom.
Yes, I did. What do you have to say about it?
Well, first off, it's from a company named Fabletix. And
Athletics.
it's spelled Fabletix. And it looks like they stole the Fanatics logo. So anyway, Fabletix has a pin, but it's not a look. The pin is just leggings.
That's what I'm saying. That's why Shop the Look is a little misleading. Like, you could
Okay.
use it for anything. And Fabletix is going to be really glad you're talking about them, because they're just really trying to get this off the ground. Like, they've partnered with so many famous people, and I have no interest in subscribing. Do you know what it is?
Of Fabletix?
Yeah.
No, I just know that it's almost the same as Fanatics, and it has the same F-looking thing like a flag.
I don't even think I know what Fanatics is. Is it like sports gear?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest sports gear websites.
Well,
So what is Fabletix doing?
basically, it's one of those subscription things where you get like a new pair of leggings every month. But how many leggings does a girl need? Or a guy?
2? I don't know.
I don't
No
need that
answer?
many. But Kate Hudson thinks I need a lot.
Okay, well, there you go.
So what else is going on this week?
So from one new feature on Pinterest to another new feature on Google, Google has launched some more control with the way your search display will be displayed in the listings. So, Shep, if there's one thing I love as a marketer, what is it?
Data?
Data and control. I like
Ooh.
having more control of things, and that's something that we've kind of poo-pooed Google about, to the fact that a lot of times we see things taken away, but Google is giving us control back with some new meta robots tags that you can use on your page, and then something even better that I'm gonna get to in a second. So first off, there was a robots meta tag that previously existed called the no snippet tag, and you could say, hey, do not show any snippets with my listing. But now there's something called, but you basically can control how long or how large a snippet should be. So you could say that the max snippet number should be this. So only show this much in my snippet if you really want to keep it concise. I don't know why, but hey, there you go. You can also say how many seconds should show an animated video preview. So if you don't want to give everything away, you can say, here's the maximum duration in seconds of that preview. And then lastly, you can say how big an image should be. So you can have a large, standard, something else if you want to have the maximum image size. You can combine all this together. So you can make a big tag that says meta name equals robots, content, max snippet 50, max image preview large. So that would be, you have 50 characters in your snippet, and you show max as a large image.
It's lots of control.
Lots of control. It doesn't really do much. Here's where the real control comes in. The best part of the update is a new HTML attribute called data no snippet. Okay. And so what you can do here is you can use this on a span, a div, or some kind of section element, and you can prevent that part of this page to show in that textual snippet in the search engine results pages. That all sounded really technical, but let's say that we've got a page that's very important to us, and we don't want a certain call to action to show up in the snippets that Google uses in the search engine results pages. We can then put that data no snippet around that section, and it should not pull in to the search engine results pages, which is great. I love it.
That makes me think of like our About Me pages on our Cypress North website.
So you just want to get rid of your stuff,
Yeah,
or your
maybe-
embarrassing stuff. Is that what you're gonna do?
maybe we don't need to pull into search results like she knows a lot about murder. You know, we could just skip that.
Yeah, and data no snippet the murder part. So you can use it for that. Anything like legalese, footer text, add text if you've got text, ads on there with a sponsored no follow link on there, or anything in general that you don't want to show up. So this is really cool, and I'm just going to say it. PTAG, the official take from Marketing Clock, is that this is span data no snippet heckin' and span great if you have the dev resources to execute NP tag.
Heckin' great. You heard it here first, folks.
Nope, not the hacking part. Google.
You got to take that part out, right?
Yep, not in the search engine results pages, folks.
Also this week, Google announced the launch of new video reach campaigns, which they described as a simpler, more efficient way for marketers to achieve their brand awareness goals with YouTube.
Yeah.
I know, I saw brand awareness and I wanted to be like, oh my gosh, WTH. But I kept reading and this actually seems pretty cool. So rather than managing separate campaigns for 6-second bumper ads, skippable in-stream ads, or non-skippable in-stream ads, you can upload multiple video creatives into a single campaign. And from there, machine learning will automatically serve the most efficient combination of these formats to help you reach your audiences at scale. So this seems like an awesome tool if you're launching the video campaign for the first time and you want to see what assets are working the best, and you can break out different ones into their own campaign if they're working well. I think this is great.
Yep.
And they had another announcement that marketers can purchase the YouTube Masthead ads on TV screens on a cost per 1,000 basis.
And I love that.
Mm-hmm.
My thought was the future is today. I very much dislike the traditional TV buying process. And Google actually experimented in running Dish TV ads a long time ago. Ran some of them, it was okay. But the ability to use some kind of modern ad platform and have big, important ads show up on TV screens is really cool. So I love the fact that you can own a masthead on a TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
The cost per 1,000 isn't necessarily my favorite, but you can do it. It's awesome. The future is today.
And the thought that maybe you could drive engagement with these and link right to your site. That could be awesome. So looking forward to experimenting with those in the future.
All right. Another update in the main news comes from Google as they are releasing a broad core update on September 24th. And from Danny Sullivan on his @SearchLiaison account, he put out the tweet on the 24th saying, later today, we are releasing a broad core algorithm update as we do several times a year. It is called September 2019 Core Update. Our guidance about such update remains as we've covered before. So Shep, the name is September Broad Core Update. At first, I liked the no names. Then I think it was Brett Tabke over at, what was it, PubCon Florida? Had called it Maverick, which I just, no, in Florida, he called it Florida. Then he called it Maverick. He called it Florida 2 in Florida. Then he called it Maverick. I love the names. We need to give it a name. So I've got a couple names out here. I think
I have some too.
Generic one would be something just with fall. So we say it's the September Spooky Broadcore Update.
I thought of that too.
Okay, nice. And then another one might be something to do with what's happening today. And I think an easy one would be the September Buffalo Bills Broadcore Update as they are 3-0. Who wouldn't like that? Oh, it was
My
the Bills
husband
update.
would love it.
Okay. So did you have any ideas on the name?
Okay, I had a couple.
Okay.
First of all, it's hurricane season.
Uh-oh.
We could go that route. So if
Batting the
this,
hatches. What's a hatch?
if this is the first one we went with, if this is the first one we named, we could go alphabetically with names just like they do with hurricanes.
I love it.
So I was going to say, I'll go update Albert.
Albert.
Got to
Okay.
start with an A.
Sounds royal.
Yeah.
Prince Albert.
I like the royal names. Okay. I was also thinking baby bud due date update.
That's nice.
That was the day Jess was due.
Yes, the Jack Bud.
Yeah.
I like it.
He ended up coming a little earlier, but
Still.
she marked it on the calendar. That's why I remembered.
Yeah, that's a due date.
And then I also thought, like, you know, I'm a big disco fan.
Wait, what?
It's world's largest disco season.
I didn't know it was whole season.
Yeah, so here in Buffalo, if you haven't heard, the world's largest disco comes to town the Saturday after Thanksgiving every year. It's a wonderful event. So I was thinking we could call it the Earth, Wind, and Fire update, like the Core Algo update from September.
That's perfect. I think that's it. The Earth, Wind, and Fire update. Thanks,
And now
Chef.
I've sung again on the show.
All right. Well, so I guess what you're probably thinking might be, what does this update, the Earth, Wind, and Fire update actually do? And we head over to, he's not a meteorologist, Glenn Gabe, but he is a serpiologist.
Ooh.
Serpiologist? Something like Serpologist. Glenn Gabe, at Glenn Gabe on Twitter. And he already has some context as to who's being hit and where the movement is occurring. So one tweet, he talked about the fact that, to no surprise, there's a lot of volatility in the health/medical space. Then he showed a few other examples. Very Well Health is starting to drop, along with Dr. Axe, who has been in many of these other drops in these algo updates. He says, then Examine is increasing with the update. And I noticed several alt health sites increasing too. Not all that dropped previously, but some. Google is turning the dial with its health medical algos. I had a feeling that it would. So to me, it smells like Big Pharma's after Dr. Axe. But if you want to know what this is actually going to do, follow Glenn Gabe on Twitter. He's always got his finger right on the pulse of these updates. And that brings us to this week's Take of the Week. This is a saucy #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. This week's take comes from Richard Baxter, at Richard Baxter on Twitter. Nice and easy for you. And Richard says, nothing says an SEO updated this more than adding in 2019 to the article title.
#fire.
#fire.
I thought this was funny, and I really liked the responses too.
There's some good ones in there.
So Will Kennard at Richard, he responded to Richard Baxter. He's at Will Kennard on Twitter. He says, Preps 2020 article. And then John Mueller responded and said, nothing like having a clear 2020 vision.
That was really good.
I thought that was so funny.
We got to put that in post there.
And then somebody in one of these threads said that they did it monthly.
That's insane.
They added the months to the article.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
And now it's time for this week's lightning round.
Pew, pew. At this point in the show, we split up our content into two parts, paid and
non-paid.
I cover everything to do with advertising, aka paid, and Greg covers the organic, aka
non-paid.
Here's what's happening in the paid universe this week. First up, we have a reorg alert. Sources say Google Ads is shaking things up. As we know, we've talked about on the show, Google is in the midst of 4 antitrust investigations, and they're also in trouble with the FTC for those child privacy law violations. So it looks like maybe with these changes, they're trying to prevent issues like that in the future. And to quote the article, the company will now be set up as 4 concentric circles. If you want more info on that, you can check out the article in our show notes. But also notably, they've named a new head of measurement and a head of privacy, which are 2 brand new positions for Google Ads.
Can I make a recommendation here?
I'd love one.
A head of support. Head of customer support,
I knew it
please.
was going there.
A head of customer support, customer satisfaction, and customer success.
And he should have a phone on his desk with like a direct line that only you have access to.
No,
So
everybody should have access to this.
anytime
Everybody
you want.
should have access to this person, whoever they are.
Yeah, more Greg Finn insights over for Google Ads. So more news from Google. Advertisers who have store visit measurements in their Google Ads accounts can now incorporate store visit data into their smart bidding strategy. So if you want more foot traffic in your store, you can now use Google's machine learning to achieve your goals. This can be implemented at the campaign or account level for search campaigns, and it's apparently available for shopping campaigns as well, but you'll have to contact your Google Ads rep to set that up because it does not explain how to do so in the article.
Yep, back to my previous job posting that I had.
That's
for
what I'm
you.
saying. You just need a phone that goes right to the guy's desk.
And with the store visits, it's something you should take with caution, I'd say. You know, if you're doing something and you're running remarketing campaigns and you're optimizing towards store visits, they might already be there, or it might be something really good for you. The store visits, I've seen it a little bit touch and go, but if that metric does appear to be working properly for you, really cool.
Awesome. Next up, Reddit announced 3 new video ad updates on Wednesday. First, they announced new video ad sizes. So they now support 1 square and 4:5 vertical video sizes. And this will allow advertisers to use video ads that they're running on other platforms and just use the same assets right on Reddit, which is awesome. They also announced optional referral URLs for CPV campaigns and mobile landing pages for video, where a user can click on an in-feed video ad on Reddit's mobile platform, and then they'll be redirected to a website where the ad continues to play uninterrupted alongside other branding and product information from the advertiser.
That's cool.
It looks really cool. Like, I bet some tech companies are going to do crazy stuff with this.
Yeah, I like that. No friction in the post click there.
I want to see what people do with that.
All right, and in regards to the article, in case you're one of the people that didn't read it, I don't know if that's proper grammar, but it appears that this is live now, that it is moving forward. These changes are active. So if you're running Reddit ads, check it out.
And finally, in paid, Snapchat announced some new features for advertisers this week as well. First, Snap ads can now run up to 3 minutes long for their video ads. Do you know how long the old limit was?
No.
10 seconds.
Well, that's a big jump.
A huge jump. So I don't know who's going to be watching them. My little cousins who like to Snapchat me streaks, but won't be me. And users are now able to swipe up on Snapchat commercials. These ads were previously not interactive at all, but now you can link a web view, long form video, or camera attachment. So that'll be nice, some more interaction there. And finally, they announced that we're getting a new bidding option, so we can now optimize for longer 15-second video views on Snapchat.
I like that. They're like, hey, now you can go more than 10 seconds. Oh, and you can optimize for 15 seconds or more.
Yeah, so lots of new little updates in the paid universe this week. What's going on in non-paid?
Oh, we've got a lot in non-paid. And first up is another new feature from Google, where Search Console data will now show on the same day.
Yay!
Near real time. This is big for publishers and really anybody out there that's just super anal and wants to check their stats all day long. You can now see it of that day. And from the article, Matt Southern over at Search Engine Journal said it best, that you can now see a site's weekend performance on Monday morning rather than waiting till Wednesday. You can check on site stats first thing in the morning or even during important days such as holidays, global events, shopping days, and best yet, you can check whether site traffic is rebounded after fixing technical issues same day. So kudos. We've got lots of great stuff this week coming from Google. We should give them their due. All right, next on the list is a new feature from Twitter where you can swipe for lists. And while you're on the Twitter home screen, by swiping right, you won't find your future lover, but you may find content from a list that you love.
Isn't that nice?
Yes. So instead of showing the main feed, you've got your set lists and you want to break it down. Maybe it's people you don't follow. Maybe it's just different topics. You can swipe right through and then really customize your news feed towards those lists, which is awesome. Twitter lists are great. It's one of the best ways to use Twitter. Okay. And the next article comes from Dr. Peter J. Myers, a.k.a. The Doc, over at Moz. And the name of the article is Google review stars drop by 14%. And Shep, to recap all this, I wrote a little poem.
Okay.
A little ode to one of my favorite authors, most controversial authors, and my favorite book, poem, story from them.
It's always great when you print something out for the show.
Yes.
I'm all ears.
Okay. And this is going to explain how we got to this article. My friends, he announced in a voice clear and keen, my name is Sundar Google McBean, and I've heard of your troubles. I've heard you're quite bitter, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up Googler. I've got rich data to help you. I have what you need. The implementation effort is low, and it works at great speed. And this item prop name solution is at data type number 100% guaranteed. Then quickly, Sundar Google McBean put together a very peculiar schema machine. And he said, you want stars like a third-party app? You've got it. Just write them, and we'll show them. Simple as that. Just implement correctly, and you'll hop right aboard. So they all made changes in line. Then all the SERPs roared. They clonked, they blonked, they blurched, and they markuped. It bopped them about, and the thing really worked. When the listing popped out, they all had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. Then Big G yelled at the ones who gave self-serving reviews. How do we know what's legit? What is true? You can't tell what is self-serving or real. So now you must go back, remove, and repeal. Good grief, groaned the ones who had stars at the first. We're still the best results, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know, they all frowned, how to implement anything from this Google blog post we've just found? Then up came Google McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know what to do, that is perfectly true. But come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? We'll remove a good chunk of all the reviews. Stars are no longer in style, said Google McBean. What you need is a trip through my star off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like results who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from the SERPs quite nicely. Then McBean, with his snoot in the air, paraded about as webmasters typed in their queries and let out a shout. He said, we fixed the problem. We've identified review intent. We've cut review schema by 14%.
Can our listeners hear me snapping into the mic?
Yep.
Wow.
All right. So that's...
And I don't think you spent a lot of time on that. That was really good.
Hey, don't tell the people. Don't tell the people about my preparation schedule here.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Oh.
And you know what? For someone who talks a lot about Dr. Seuss, you talk a lot about Dr. Seuss.
I do, fairly.
I think you like him.
He's good. When he tries, he's the best. Okay, and item prop next here. Facebook has announced Horizon. So innovation is booming over at Facebook. Last week we heard about all the new portal gadgets. And this week we get Facebook Horizon. Horizon is a virtual reality sandbox universe where you can build your own environments and games and then socialize with friends or explore the user-generated landscapes. This is Facebook's take on Second Life. So in Horizon, you can turn yourself into what looks like a Frozen character while hanging out in your kitchen, and it's super creepy. Nobody has legs.
I don't understand why nobody has legs.
There's a video, we'll put it in the blog post over at Marketing O'Clock. But there's just a bunch of people hovering at normal heights with no legs in this made-up world.
I would rather spend my time in a real sandbox. This is just crazy.
Did you watch the video?
Of course I did.
I'm very concerned with the way society is going, in case people couldn't tell. I don't know why this isn't the WTH this week, but there's a woman dancing around in the kitchen.
While her husband's
He's
doing
cooking.
chores. Yeah.
He's cooking.
Maybe you could help him.
There's a hot stove right behind you, and you've got a mask over your face. And then she's talking to somebody in this virtual world, and the husband's cooking. He's like, oh, hey, Bob. And it's like, what are you doing? But
yeah, it was crazy. She looked a lot like Kristen Bell.
And then there's another couple where the woman is eating cereal with her husband, but just is eating with goggles on her face.
And she's drinking her coffee through a crazy straw.
Yeah.
I drink my coffee through a straw sometimes, but not a crazy straw.
That's nuts. Anyway, watch the video. You put goggles on your head and you lose your legs and go into a different dimension. And you can hang out with people there and look any way you want to.
While your husband cooks your dinner.
Yes. But I look at this and I think of how much crime is going to be committed. You know, it's like, she's got her windows open. There's a huge door there and she's just got a mask on her head.
Oh, crimes committed in the real world.
Yes.
I thought you were saying people would like go into the no legs world and commit some crimes.
There too, probably.
You could do whatever you want.
Into the legless reality,
No
there's
laws.
probably going to be no laws there. But wouldn't you think if you're a criminal, you might be like, oh, this person puts a mask and earbuds in and isn't even present for 3 hours of their day, I'm just going to hop in there and maybe steal whatever they've got in their real life.
Oh God, I'm worried about the world.
I am too. There's also commercials like that too for Oculus, where there's just people sitting in a dirty old warehouse and just a chair with Oculus over their eyes. It's
like
not for me.
the Twilight Zone.
The world is perfect. It's fine.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, no, it's not perfect, but it's perfectly real. Like, I don't know. Whatever. And that brings us to our real life segment.
Straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes.
It's time for Working Hard
or Hardly Working,
where we talk about what is going on in our IRL work,
good,
bad,
or otherwise this week.
Shep, what's been happening with your accounts lately?
I have a simple one, but I've just been loving labels lately in Google Ads and Microsoft. I even use tags in Facebook Ads Manager a little bit now.
You wild child.
I know. I just love them for everything. Like, I don't make an ad without labeling it. I don't make a campaign without labeling it. We just made a bunch of promotional ads for an account that we're going to have to shut off at the end of the season. And I'll know right where they all are because they're all labeled as promotional ads.
And so it just makes it easier, more flexible. Is that what the audience should take away from what's working?
Yeah,
good?
It's just a good way to keep track of similar things. And you're not just looking at a bunch of stuff on a screen. Like, you can sort those promotional ads. I can also sort by the label and compare their performance to our non-promotional ads. It's awesome. I also have a temporarily pause label in all my accounts. So I have to pause something real quick because I'm working on it. I know right where it was and can label it as active again when I'm done. Just makes life a lot easier. And sometimes I forget about them.
Nice. All right. And so what is working well for me isn't necessarily an ad platform or anything like that. It's Google Discover. I don't know how this happened, but one of my clients got into my Google Discover feed, and I use Google Discover pretty regularly, and I found some new stuff that they put out and didn't tell us. I was like, oh, that's interesting, and I kept tapping more. I want more of this. And so I started getting more and more information on this specific client, which just helps me stay in the loop as to what's going on and what I should know. A lot of it isn't that important, but it's really cool if you are trying to keep track of a specific client, or if it's your company, throw that as an interest in Google Discover. And if you want more information, just keep hitting more and you get real-time stuff. They'll deliver you new pages on a site, or at least they deliver it to me. So it's something to check out if you're trying to stay in the loop.
Yeah, I don't really use it. That's awesome.
All right. And now it's time for this week's
WTH.
And this week's WTH comes from Wired, but really Amazon, is they had an event. And Wired covered everything that Amazon announced. And first off, there's some standard upgrades that they gave us. A new Echo speaker, a new Echo Show, watch out, Portal, a new Echo Studio, which is sound for audio files, kind of like a Google Home Hub Max. I don't know, the one that sounds good. Google Echo Dot.
Shouldn't they all sound good?
Well, some sound great. You know, audiophile, I can tell.
Okay.
If you can say, don't they all sound good? This isn't for you.
No, I'm saying, shouldn't they all sound good?
I mean, I think depending on price, no.
Why do you want a speaker if, some of the little Echo Dots are so quiet, like my phone's louder? Why do I want that?
I don't think you do.
Just for the smart assistant,
which
I don't.
I think you then would be the Echo Studio.
Okay.
They also came out with Echo Dot with a clock, and Echo Glow, which is like an Echo, but you can set it to glow in the morning to wake you up and glow off at night to have you sleep, I guess. Yeah. And Echo Flex, which is something that you can plug into a wall. So you have a plug and it goes right into the wall and you can communicate with whatever's going on in Alexa. And here we go. And then there's also an Amazon Smart Oven, convection oven, microwave, air fryer, food warmer, all this stuff that ties in to Alexa. Also, you can add celebrity voices.
Oh my gosh.
So Samuel L. Jackson, you could add their celebrity voices for $1 each, and you can.
Whose voice would you add?
That's a great question. Maybe Dustin Diamond? He might be a good one. I don't know who's out there.
I would do Angela Lansbury.
Of course you would. Of course you would. Wouldn't you do any of the QVC anchors too?
No, I can get them anytime I want. Angela Lansbury is in hiding.
Or maybe I'd do a sportscaster, like Ian Eagle or something like that.
I don't know that fella.
Okay. Bob Costas?
I know him. He had pink eye.
Yeah, double pink eye. It was gnarly. All right, so here come the WTH products that they announced, and we'll put it on a scale of 1 to 5, and we'll call it the Portal Horizon scale in terms of bad products.
So 5 is good.
Yep, 5 Portal Horizons is cringy.
Wait, no, that's confusing.
Okay.
Is 1 Horizon or is 5 Horizon?
I think we all lose at this one. So it's a Portal Horizon is the worst you can be. A 5
Okay.
Portal Horizons is the worst you can be.
So if it's a good product, it's a 1.
Correct.
Okay.
This is how WTHE it is, and we're using the Portal Horizon scale. 5 Portal Horizons being the worst, and 0 being this is fine.
Okay. Oh, I can give a 0. Okay.
Yes.
Good to know.
So first up, Ring Fetch. It is a dog tag for dogs that uses a new Amazon Sidewalk protocol that helps you be alerted when your dog leaves the vicinity, and you can find.
I don't hate that one.
That's not using the scale.
2.
2 on the Portal Horizon scale. Okay, next up, Echo Buds. Wire-free buds have a Bose noise reduction technology in them. You can turn on and off by tapping one of the earpieces, and you can get Alexa right into your ear holes while you're listening to music.
Compared to the other ones, this one doesn't bother me that much either. I also thought it was cool. I don't know if this is already a thing, but they said they were noise reducing, or they stopped before saying noise canceling, but they like shut out a lot of noise like Bose does. But if you tapped them, you could get rid of that feature.
Yep, turn them on and off.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they're $130. So what is that on the Portal Horizon scale?
1.
Okay, nice. Next, Echo Frames. These are glasses that have a microphone so you can talk to Alexa, but no camera. It's just wearable technology that allows you to talk right to Alexa with your glasses. So the Echo Frames, they're going to be $180 a pair, and you can add a prescription.
Okay, so I'm going to make my rating off of this sentence from the article, which was, if cramming Alexa into your ears isn't enough, how about putting Alexa directly on your face? That's a lot. We don't need this. 4.
Okay, 4 on the Portal Horizon scale. And then lastly, Echo Loop. Echo Loop is a smart ring that is Alexa enabled.
I mean, why?
It has 2 microphones, a tiny speaker, and haptic alerts. So in the example, there was a man in the grocery store, and he just had his hand right up to his mouth in his ring.
And then all it was like, read me my grocery list. Imagine you go to the store with 20 items on your list and you have to listen to her read the whole thing every time. Nobody needs this. 5.
5. My question is, how do people like Alexa so much?
I don't. What's the point? And I just feel so bad for the people in the world that are named Alexa. It's a real name, and nobody can. Their lives have been interrupted.
Really?
Nobody can talk to them on the phone without setting off their speaker. It's just bad.
We need to start a fund.
For the Alexas of the world?
The Alexa fund.
You can tell we're not fans of Alexa because nothing's happening in our studio right now.
All right, and that brings us to this week's Cool Tool.
As a reminder, our cool tool is not an endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something that we found in our travels that we think may be of use to our listeners. And this week's cool tool is from the SEO agency Onely, and they have launched a new JavaScript SEO tool suite that they're calling Onely Made for Geeks. And they have a lot of great names in here, not just the geeks in the title. So first,
you can tell they're actual geeks.
Yeah, I love
names.
it. So the first one is called TGIF, and it stands for the Google Indexing Forecast. And you can find out if your HTML and JavaScript code are indexed by Google and how the current state of your website affects your SEO. And the next one is WWJD. It's not what would Jess do, which I'm saying a lot in her maternity leave, but it's what would JavaScript do. And you can compare what elements on your web page are injected by JavaScript. And then the last one is TLDR, which they're saying stands for too long, don't render. And you can calculate the rendering cost of your website. So these are 3 awesome tools that they introduced that anyone can take advantage of. Check out our show notes for the link.
And best thing with these tools, they're all free. So head over to the show notes, check them out, no cost. Thank you, Onely. All right, and that brings us to our must-read marketing article of the week, an article so in-depth, so detailed, that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show. And this week's article comes from Robbie Richards over at the properly named RobbieRichards.com. And he has an article called The 52 Experts Reveal Best SEO Reporting Tools and Must-Have Features. And so Robbie had a vote where he took a look at tools that experts liked the best. And there were some grading elements here, like a few of them were integration with third-party tools, the ability to have white label reporting, the usability, and he made a list based off of the votes. I'm not going to give away any winners here, but my favorite part was that he showed the responses from those that took the survey. So you could see that Andy Crestodonia of Orbit Media Studios, or Crestodina, I think that's right. Crestodinionia.
Sounds right to me. It's
Okay.
not the second one you said.
no, definitely not. Sorry, Andy. But he said, what we were talking about before plays into this. Alexa is an awesome tool for reporting. The audience overlap tool has a competitive keyword matrix that shows instantly and visually where the battle is being fought. I looked at this and said, I haven't used Alexa, which used to be the kind of standard for the most popular sites, in at least a year or more. I'm like, this has to be wrong. I went, and it's a whole new look over at Alexa. They have tools. There's things for $149 a month, $80 a month, and it actually looks way better than it used to be. And I was like, okay, this is cool. Thanks, Andy. And then there was another one I thought stood out was from Amanda Shack of W Promote. She said, assisted conversions. It can be hard to show the benefit of a blog. And in this one of her tools she chose was analytics, Google Analytics. She said, by setting up a goal tracking for your main KPIs, I now easily show my clients that X% of people that viewed the blog then went on to convert on the site. In most instances, this number has been shockingly high and a very impressive metric to report on. So get that and the insights of 50 other SEOs if you are looking for some tools. Thank you, Robbie.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Remember, you can catch everything from this show on marketingoclock.com. While you're there, please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode.
And we will see you next week.